Hello, it's me again. Now, I don't know how I choose to upload these. I don't know if I'm going to upload them all on the same day, but in my perspective, I have done them one after another. So, I just got done with one reading. Now we're going to dive into Nature's Whispers Oracle cards. This one's a little different. It only has two types of spreads, a 3 card and a 4 card. The 4 card is actually in direct relation, compare and contrast of two different people, versions, whatever you want to say. I'm just going off of 3D terminology. In reality, we're not separate, but it is meant to contrast you and another person. 3 card spread is specifically you. Now I am certain you can actually use tarot cards in different methods. Just because the book says it's these two spreads doesn't mean that's how they have to. In fact, if I so chose, we could use these tarot cards for different readings. Again, it depends on the questions you ask, it depends on how they are interpreted. I'm actually still pretty new with this deck. Little little too whimsical for me, which is good. In fact, the reason I bought it is butterfly. Butterflies have been very significant to me as of late. They've been used as a sign for me because I've been going through a metamorphosis, a change of personality and identity. Plus, I really, really, really like the artwork. I'm also an artist, and I love the artwork of these cards. They're gorgeous. I was actually drawn to this one. Said in the last video, the Shadow deck was recommended. This one, I actually felt guided to get. These are the nicer cards. A little more flowery, a little more positive, a little more kind. It's not necessarily a slap in the face like, hey, work on this. You're angry. No, it's. You know what? I'll just let you see. I will explain it to you as we go. Sharpo! Alright, that's good enough. Always respect your cards too. Respect them. They are meant to be respected. Do not diss them. They will be angry. Believe it or not. They are here to help. If you do not respect them, I'll tell you what, babe, they won't respect you. So the way this card works, ask a question, blah blah blah. Ask what the message is for you today. And then the way it's read is the left card is about the past. What has been occurring at this moment? Or what lessons have you been working? Middle card is information about your current situation and what you're working on at the moment. Third card shows you what will be coming up in your very near future. It also shows you what you need to bring about the desired situation in your. I've been getting some pretty strange reading with this one. Normally they tend to be positive. Like I said, they just kind of not meant to be a negative message. It never really is. It's always supposed to be constructive and helpful. It is not meant to strike fear. Anyone who strikes fear isn't coming from a proper source. Yes, I will call that one out. I will say that is black and white. If someone is using it to invoke fear, that is not meant for you. Get the fuck out of there. Never meant to put the fear of God in you, so to say. It is meant to help you. Constructive. Let's do it. Drawing the first card. Amplify your positive emotion. That, like I said, has been something I've been struggling with. I have been in a very fight or flight mindset. Poured myself a cup of water, forgot to drink it. That is a lesson I've been learning in the past. I've been very negative, very upset, very rage filled. In fact, growing up, I became very, very cynical because I've had a lot of disappointment in my life. I grew extremely cynical. Cynical. Very cynical, so I always assumed the worst, the negative outcome. Well, I think it was Neville Goddard quoting this from someone else, but whoever said it, those who believe it is true and those who believe it to be false are both correct. Reality is a reflection of how you feel and how you think. So if you feel like the worst is going to happen, well, guess what, bud? It does. It does happen. 100%. It's because what you believe, the only thing you're willing to see. Have you ever heard seeing is believing? That is why I firmly believe there are certain people who can see spiritual entities like ghosts, shadow people. I have seen them. But if you don't believe it exists, well, then no, you're not going to see them because you're not open to that perception. So that's just not going to happen. Is not always believing, though. So it says to amplify your positive emotion. That's something I've been working on in the past and even in the current situation now. Mainly the past. It's always been a struggle for me to be positive. Always. In fact, like I said, in the current situation, I'm trying not to be negative. I lost my job. That's typically not positive. People often see that as exception. But instead of sitting in fear, anxiety, and rage and doubt, I'm choosing to be positive about it the best I can. Do feel negative, rage and doubt, let it go, express it. But then turn back around and be like, you know what? For instance, I've got this. I have gotten this far with help, of course, and sometimes on my own. But the point is, I'm still here. I'm still alive, and I'm still moving forward. So instead of being fearful and negative about the situation, positive. I'm looking at the silver lining, so to say, because honestly, that's just a better method. A little easier, because if I was just so negative about it, I wouldn't be moving. Focus on the be like, oh no, I lost my job. I'm gonna lose my apartment. I'm gonna blah 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 blah. You just spiral the fuck down. Just end up in an anxious mind spiral. Let's call it a anxiety vortex or a negative vortex. Because it's not just anxiety, it's fear, it's doubt, it's anxiety. Your brain gets cluttered. Just halt. Sit still. Can't move. So focused on the past and what happened and all these negative things that you don't even see a way out. Gotta have a clear mind to be able to get the answers. Again, everything I'm telling you, I'm telling myself. Boy, I could really use someone like me right now. So that's what I'm doing. I'm telling myself. Be positive. Amplify your positive. Because you gain nothing from being negative. In fact, I am very hard trying to be grateful. Not easy. It takes a lot of conscious mind and a lot of willpower to override the programming in your mind. Because again, I was programmed or got programmed to be negative. So I'm literally going back and rewiring my brain. I'm 31 years old. This will show my age. Although I did not live during that time, or at least this version did not live. I've seen commercials of it back in the olden days when you had a call center. You literally actually had to take and move the wires, unplug it, and transfer it to a different input to move the calls around. Well, I'm doing the same crap in my brain. Taking the wires and be like, you know what? Instead of connecting to that negative outcome, I'm just going to shift it over here and make it positive. I'm going to redirect that call to a different station because I am sick of that one. I don't want to talk to you. So, it's very necessary to amplify the positive emotion. Again, it's not bad that you're feeling negative, but you got to figure out how to feel. Got to focus on that instead. I already have a feeling this video is not going to be as long as the last one. In my opinion, there's a lot more to talk about in your shadow, or it's a lot easier for me to talk about shadow as opposed to these. I'm still trying to figure this part out myself. Using this deck is actually proof of me trying to become better and positive. The other one shows me what's hidden underneath. This one gets me to focus on the. Just look at that. Look at the just contrast. You can see the cards itself. These are dark colors typically, specifically colors meant to be portraying specific messages. And then these ones are extremely vibrant, vivid. Like I said, the artwork is just fucking beautiful. Look at that. I am aiming to paint like that someday. I will get there. Sorry. Moving on. Second card. This is the what I'm going through currently, called Love Matters. This could again be portrayed in many different ways. Right now, that I'm learning to love myself, I'm making mistakes. It's very important to love myself. Honestly, if I focused on the negative emotions, I would be tearing myself down. I would be beating myself up like I did for the first few days. I was actually on the phone crying with my sister. Like, man, I have been trying so hard to be positive and to be a better person. But yet these things keep happening. This isn't the first time I got fired for having an issue with a coworker. But I truly felt like I've been different. I've changed, becoming a better person, and I thought I handled it a lot better. But the outcome was the same. So instead of being mad at myself, being in that negativity spiral, I'm trying to amplify my positive emotions self more. Like, alright, even if it was my fault, okay. It wasn't a mistake, it's a lesson learned. We're learning and I'm a better person because of it. Doesn't feel that way. Tell you, 100% does not feel that way. In my heart, it's still confused. It's still upset. And I'm very confused. Like I said, I've been trying to grow and change. Still, it happened. So now it's just like, what the hell, you know? I don't get it. But it could be positive. Probably is because I'm choosing to love myself more. It's sometimes the reality is, well, okay, that's a reality is as you perceive it. But because I didn't love myself, I was willing to work myself like a dog. I was more attached to money, and this kind of ties into the last video. I didn't mean to, but if you want to go see it, go watch it. Shadow. I was so attached to money that it ruled me. I wasn't willing to take a break. I was so stuck in what is perceived as the masculine energy. Work, 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 work. I said there were actually numerous times I worked so much I got sick. I couldn't sleep, and I would wake up, go to work, not feeling well, and physically wear myself out. That is not self-love. I was destroying my body. I kind of hated myself. So I am being told to choose myself over. Again, it's easier said than done, but I'm trying. And it's not just self-love. It's love in general. Love in general. Because I tell you what, I definitely struggle to love those who I feel have hurt me. The whole love your enemy, I've always had an issue with that. Because I felt so wronged, so negative and angry about it that I don't believe I can personally feel love. Like, honest to God, someone comes up and shoots my sister in front of me or something, it's really hard to love that person. But on the flip side, love matters more because they didn't love themselves either. In fact, I love some of those TV shows, kind of like Avatar or anime in particular, Naruto. A lot of the times, the enemy isn't just someone to defeat. They try to reach inside and say, hey, look, I understand what you're going through. You don't have to be like this. This is why you're hurt, and this is why you're hurting others, and I totally get it. So instead of becoming the enemy, they end up becoming friends because they showed love towards someone who didn't feel it. That is also something I really struggle with, as I will keep saying over and over and over. I struggle to love what is perceived as my enemy. fact, like, I feel like me being fired was a snap judgment. My manager felt rage and anger, made a snap judgment, and just canned me. I don't know if it's because of lack of love. I do know it's because a lot of people screwed him over in the past. In fact, none of the people I started with worked there anymore. He's admitted to me people who become managers there end up fucking him over, and I watched it happen. So he is very quick to get rid of it and be like, oh, and I'm the same way. I am very, I don't want to say despondent, but I feel like that might be. I cut people off so fucking fast it makes your head spin. The second you do something I don't like, gone. Get out of my life. Because I'm afraid of love. Not willing to love. Not willing to be open. I'm not willing to be vulnerable. Wasn't. But if I was open to love, loving myself, maybe that wouldn't happen. Maybe I wouldn't be afraid of love. Because again, all it is a lack of love. The truth of reality is, if you've ever seen, I don't know who called it out, but in the end, the hero and the villain's story are exactly the same. It's just how you choose to act. Because, say, the villain just felt a lack of love. In fact, Inuyasha was an anime I just finished watching. Because I found out there was later segments. I watched it when I was a kid, but it got cut off. Then they later came back and finished it years later. But I didn't know about that, so I went back and watched it. Spoiler alert, just FYI, if you haven't watched the show, want to, click away now. But in that show specifically, the great evil, the great demon, became a demon because he was rejected. He didn't feel love. He fell in love with this woman and he wanted to be with her, but he got jealous because she loved another. And there was this whole ordeal about something called a Shikon jewel, which supposedly grants people's wishes. And one of the heroes at the end called him out and said, you know what? The reason you haven't used it to grant your wish is because your wish can't be granted. You wanted the heart of the woman killed. But since you killed her, your wish will never become. Even before that, you acknowledged your wish was never going to get because she loved someone else. Because of that, he turned to a life of evil. It's simply the lack of love. Love is super important. It's, well, honestly, the only thing that there. It's kind of hard to get into that topic, but love is the only thing. Fear stems from a lack of love. All it boils down to. Whether they don't love themselves or they didn't get the love as a child, I sure as hell didn't feel like it. Growing up, I didn't feel like either of my parents. I felt extremely abandoned, and I learned not to love myself. But that's also because they weren't loved. Everyone has complicated childhoods, and it just scars them. So now, what you have to do is go back and give yourself the love that you didn't receive. Learn to love yourself. That's all that matters. Moving on to the next card. Let love be your beacon. Okay, gonna keep cycling that on. Let love be your beacon. That is why it matters so much. Can't explain it enough. Because without it, you're just a you're some poor schmuck sitting in a boat with a hole in the bottom of the ocean, or leading to the bottom of the ocean. In fact, one of my favorite quotes from the TV show Firefly, at the very end of the series, or perhaps it was the movie. The captain is a very romantic in the sense of back in the olden days, you know, a poet used to be considered a romantic because they were more into the flowery love side of life, more connected with their feminine energy, heart. So the captain would say, You know what keeps the ship afloat, your spaceship, your boat. You know what truly fuels. You know what? I'm actually going to look up the quote. I don't want to misquote this. I, honest to God, I love this. Loved the movie, loved the show. Here it is. You can learn all the math in the verse, but you take a boat in the air that you don't love, she'll shake you off just as sure as they're turning. Love keeps her in the air. You ought to fall down. Tells you she's hurting, or she. See if I can find the specific one. Yeah, I guess that's it. Love is what keeps it afloat. Because if you didn't love your ship, if you didn't love yourself, you would just be spiraling in that vortex of negativity. Don't learn to love yourself. Come crashing. So once you learn how to do that, let it become your beacon. Again, those people who are acting out on you don't love themselves or didn't feel love. So sometimes in feeling to love yourself, you are able to then give it to others. Show them the love that they never felt. And it can do some crazy fucking things. Like I said, it can turn the hardest of evil to the kindest people you know. It can change people's lives. There's another quote that said, someone somewhere, ooh, I'm getting emotional. Someone somewhere may remember you forever because of the little act of love you've given. Something as simple as a smile or kind of, because they didn't feel it before. And it sticks with them. In fact, there's another quote, and I don't remember who any of these people are that say this, but and I just lost nuts. Sure, it'll come back to me, but guys, that's definitely been one of my struggles too. Learning to love a world that tells you otherwise. I'm disabled, I'm different, I'm weird, I'm a little eccentric. Nothing wrong with any of that. But because I felt judged, I don't love myself. There's even days I struggle with it, and I don't believe I'm worth it. Hurts, sucks. I didn't get it as a parent or from my parents. Neither of my parents. My mom was very distant from me. My dad was abusive. I didn't feel like they loved me at all. Even to this day, I question it constantly. Sure, they would say it from time to time, but as I got older, I realized that's just words. They didn't love me with their actions. Tell you what, I sure as hell didn't feel loved when my dad was hitting me. Again, I'm not saying this poor me, poor me. It's just a good example of a feeling of lack of love. Definitely did. Because I didn't feel it growing up. It's hard to pass it on. But when you see people like that, like I'm still trying to understand, I'm on that fence. I call it the dichotomy fence. Dichotomy is two counter oppositions, basically two forces that are different from each other in completely different aspects, and every different aspect being one. So I am now on the fence of that person wronged me. That person treated me horribly. That person lied to me. But because I'm learning to love myself better, I can see that they don't love themselves, or it's stemming from a lack of love. And I try to turn around and be loving to them. Of course, it's always harder in the moment. It's so difficult to be like, you know what? You just cut me off in traffic. I love you, bud. In fact, even saying that just makes me want to throw up a little bit. But it's true. Just you love yourself so you can understand where others are coming. And even if they reject your love, that's fine. It's just them rejecting themselves. Everything I'm saying, I really need to put into practice too. I definitely struggle with it because acting in fear will get you nowhere. In fact, again, I didn't love my job. I didn't love myself enough to leave that job, even when I was being guided to. And because of that, I suffered. See where it goes from here. Is that all that needs to come out? You can even see it kind of here in the card, looking away from a dark forest and looking towards a lighter path, a more vibrant path. Because love is also acquainted with light, typically, and negativity and hate, typically darkness, if you want to go all stereotypical. Actions out of hate bring you no destruction. I know all too well about that. But let's read the book. Number 7. I'm very proud of myself. I made it through tarot reading without crying. Nothing wrong with that. Number 7. Amplify your positive emotion. There is a ripple effect of energy flowing from you. Be positive. Simply staying happy and sending that happiness out from your heart will benefit those around you. As you adjust your motives and attitudes, this energy flows from you in concentric circles, affecting all of your desires and beliefs. This is a chance to bring good fortune and influences to all of the events in your life. Kind of leading back to the whole love thing. So this one was supposed to be the one that is represented as the future, something I. But as I grow to love myself, now that I'm getting into that state, now I have to let it guide me. Something I'm future as I'm currently present. Love matters. The way you handle things is important. There will always be many challenges, as that is part of the experience. Choose to learn from your encounters. Get your heart ready to receive and allow for the various emotions. Consider what makes you happy. It is time for you to allow yourself a day of enjoyment. Love who you are, and willing to receive love and connection. I don't know how many times it helped me at work. Anytime someone comes in and screaming at me or upset with me as a customer service, I used to react the same. And as those who know, this makes shit worse. It just gets worse. But being patient is a form of love. So they come in, they're all upset, they're anxious, they're tired, and you're a little patient with them. That's showing them love, and their attitude switches so fast. I have seen it. They come in all angry, and I try to offer them assistance and love. By the end of the conversation, they actually leave happy. So that was something I was learning in my day to day. It really did make a difference. Gave them the love and patience. In fact, I've had customers coming back to me years while I worked there because they said I was so patient with them and I was so kind and loving, and it's because I have been getting better at that. You can see someone suffering, and instead of being upset and angry, you gotta be loving. Let love be your beacon. Lead with love. When you enter a new situation, see love paving the way. It is a tense situation or work environment. Do a visualization exercise, or of filling the space with bright, beautiful love for everyone, including yourself. Acknowledge what is going on, and will be. Fuck, I can't read right. Acknowledge what is going on, willing to change how you approach this. Literally just got done saying all that. Communication will be harmonious, and you will have greater prospect to create what you are looking for. Focus on the light within you. Imagine the light shining out of you. The inner light will permit you to see the world with new eyes and learn every day of the light. I'll tell you this, it is not an easy journey. I have asked for patience, I have asked for love, and what I mean in the sense of is to learn how to be patient and learn how to love. Well, instead of just giving you the answer, God, Spirit, Universe gives you tests or situations and where you can learn or express these things you're trying to learn. For instance, patience. I'm feeling really impatient one day. Maybe I got stuck in traffic. Maybe my coffee has taken 20 minutes. Maybe customers are being pain in the asses, as they often do. But those are all situations to show you how to be patient. You don't know how many times I'm at work and I'm just like, alright, being patient, trying to be patient. I am also an empath, so it makes it very difficult. I walk into a situation, I can feel their anxious energy, I can feel their anger, I can feel. I thought oftentimes it's stemming from me. Like, why the hell am I so angry right now? Grrrr! What is going on? I was in a good mood and now I'm in a bad mood. Well, it's because I'm picking up the energy from the others. And once you're able to discern that, you can help alchemize it and redirect it, change it. Because I tell you what, those situations where I didn't choose love and chose to be an asshole made things much, much worse. Oh, and here's the fun kicker. Lessons you ask for, or just in general, continue to repeat themselves until you learn the lesson. Patience, oh my god, has definitely been one of the lessons I've been learning. Time and time and time again. And it's just gonna keep happening, baby. Till I learn fucking patience. And it's gotten better. Meditation really helps. But developing that discernment in the moment of, oh, this is what's going on, instead of getting caught up in the energy. You're like, wait, hold on. How will I choose to respond? With anger and hatred or love? Customers being an asshole to me, I'll be patient. Be very surprised how infectious your energy, but you can't let them infect you with their energy, unless they are protruding love. But I've also felt the same way. I've had a bad day at work. It's going south. Customers are pissing me off. Coworkers are pissing me off. Well, guess what? That one little old lady I showed love to one day came in on my bad day and gave me some cookies. That one little act of kindness shifts your day completely, if you allow it to. It's like, okay, someone showed me love, someone showed me patience, and now I'm going to try to reciprocate it and do the same. For the rest of the day, I was in a good mood. Again, it's very, very powerful. It's crazy how powerful. In fact, go watch a movie where it's very prominent. I mean, I've seen clips of movies, I just can't remember specific things, but oftentimes they've stopped dire situations from happening. They acknowledged it, said, hey, calm down, I know you don't really want this. I know you're coming from a place of fear or hatred. Talk to me. What's going on? Especially when you have a suicidal friend. situations like that. It's kind of really drastic and just pulled that out of nowhere, but it's like maybe they're feeling lack of love. And it's not enough just to simply let them vent to you and listen. Gotta show them some love. I think that's about all I had to say on that. Thank you, Spirit. Let's see what's on the bottom just for shit. The card I just shuffled there. Oh, it's because I literally played the bottom. I think that's all I got about that. As you can see, these messages are a little bit more positive and upbeat as opposed to, hey, got some healing to do, bud. I feel pretty good about this. I'm gonna try to keep going. I don't know at what frequency I will be posting these videos. I know I need a better camera, better microphone. It's not poor light, but anything I tell you, I am also trying to practice myself. So this is never meant to be a call out to you, judging others. Like I said, these readings are more or less for myself. Come out, Spirit. Okay, I heard a literal nope in my head, so call it a day. Have a great day. Love yourself and the planet. Stop being a dick to the planet. Clean up your fucking trash. So sick of seeing it on the side of the street. Talking to you.